I watched the new F1 movie last week, and don't get me wrong, I loved it. The acting was on point, it was filmed beautifully, and you really got the feeling of the raw speed, G-forces, and adrenaline that the drivers experience. Another thing I liked a lot was the soundtrack, with a lot of different artists like Ed Sheeran, Don Toliver, and Tate McRae. Hans Zimmer cooked as usual too. However, as with all Hollywood racing movies, there were some errors I felt they should have definitely got right, especially with Lewis Hamilton as a producer, helping them from the start to make the movie as authentic as possible. Sonny Hayes, who is played by Brad Pitt, is a 60-year-old man who used to race in F1 against the likes of Senna, but had a horror crash in the early 90s and has never driven an F1 car since. He then gets one lap to prove himself, and after flat spotting the tires on his outlap, manages to get under 6/10 of the rookie Joshua Pierce, who has driven the same car, for 10 races already. This is just way too unbelievable. No matter who you are, you can't just jump in with flat spotted tires and deliver that fast of a lap after not being in an F1 car for 30 plus years. He then proceeds to crash after crossing the line, and for some strange reason, Apex signed him for the rest of the season. Interesting decision. The reason why Sonny Hayes is given the opportunity to race is due to the fact that the board of Apex GP were going to sell the team if none of the drivers could get a win. This is one of the most unlikely scenarios you would see in Formula 1. There are countless of teams that have gone winless in F1, including current teams like Haas and Aston Martin. Going into F1 and expecting to win in the first 3 seasons is a way too high standard, especially for a team who haven't even scored a point yet. For the first points finish of Apex GP, Sonny Hayes develops a strategy that is very similar to the one used by Renault in the 2008 Singapore Grand Prix, commonly known as Crashgate. Hayes repeatedly gets into accidents on purpose to bring out yellow flags and safety cars for the benefit of his teammate, which is strictly against FIA regulations and would probably result in race bans. Although I'm sure Flavio Briatore is proud of a Hollywood film using him as inspiration, it just would not go. When Apex GP gets points for the first time, the whole team is at Parc Fermé to congratulate the drivers, something which is not allowed, as only the teams of the podium finishers are permitted to celebrate there with their team. The rest of the top 10 have to go through the usual procedures. This was one of the most annoying things they got wrong, as it seems quite simple. The calendar. I understand that they only had permits for some Grand Prix, but they could have at least put those in order. Having the Belgian Grand Prix right after the Mexican Grand Prix in November makes no sense, as Spa takes place just after the summer break in August, and that part of Belgium at that time period would start to see snowfall at that time. In conclusion, although I'm well aware that F1 the movie is a Hollywood film and won't have everything correct, I feel that F1 should have been a more authentic movie, and these things could have made it just that bit more enjoyable for viewers like myself and you guys who are avid F1 fans and would like to see things done right.